All right. Is everyone? Am I sharing? Am I sharing actually? I don't even know if I'm
No, not yet.
Recording though.
Oh yeah, I should. That's fine. All
There
right.
we go.
Week 7 recap. Current standings. All right, Bradley 6-1. Austin 5-2. I'm 4-3. Tom's 3-4. I mean, everyone can read. I don't know. I guess I don't have to read off all this stuff. So what? Right now, me, Bradley, Austin, and Ehi are in the playoffs.
That's
That
what
was
we like
pretty
to hear,
noteworthy
baby.
that Tom jumped all the way up to second in points. He's still not in the playoffs.
Oh shoot! I didn't even notice that.
Was he? What was he last week? Third? Right? Because I know he jumped because he had that 215-point week, and that bumped him up.
He's had 2 back-to-back high-scoring weeks, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the high scorer twice in a row, I think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he had it this week.
Jackass, that was 3 weeks ago. So it was last week, he didn't have a good week, and then 2 weeks ago.
Evan now has the most points scored against. 1,041.
Where is that? Let's see. Michael Vick stocks. 110.41. Damn, am I the low guy? Oh, I am. Austin and I. We know how to play good defense, baby.
Is there anything anyone else wanted to talk about with standings?
It's kind of wild that Evan has the hardest schedule and is still pulling 3 and 4 with his points 4 total.
It's 895.
Yeah, that is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think it sounds like he's either getting blown out or barely winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Top scores. Oh, Tua. Holy crap. Tua
Yeah.
38. And Chris started Tua. We do have to. I know he had Herbert.
I'm by.
And Baker was out, but I think I would have picked up quarterback rather than start Tua. So.
No, I would have too. Reid was giving me grief because I was making a joke that Chris was starting Tua, but obviously it worked out for him. But yeah, I don't trust Tua in fantasy, but obviously Chris is right this week.
It was a good matchup, right?
Falcons,
right?
Yeah,
that's a decent matchup.
Even still, I still kind of feel like Tua's kind of sketchy, but you're right.
You gotta look at the waivers for quarterbacks in our league. There's just not a lot of options. So
Did someone? Cousins was on a bye. Okay, never mind.
Like your only other option really, like realistically, was Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And I think I would start Tua over Wentz, but
yeah, based on matchup, you're right. Stafford, Joe Burrow. I think he's in the top 10. Just for anyone.
You hear that? Wait, hey, you guys pause. You hear that? That's just Austin quaking in his boots right now.
How much was the bet?
This guy's playing out. This guy's just using Jamar Chase to get up there. It'll be okay. He'll come back to earth.
Jamar Chase ain't leaving. He's there to stay.
How much was the bet? $50?
No, 20. I think it was 20.
Oh, 20.
Yeah.
Minor leagues, Evan. They're not about it.
Brady and then Rodgers. I would have lost if I didn't do the trade for Brady, just saying.
There's my L for the week right there.
Well, and Riley, we can talk about it later, but running backs.
If you didn't have Brady, Collin, wouldn't you have started Burrow?
What?
If you didn't have Brady, wouldn't you have started Burrow? No, I guess that matchup was bad. Maybe not. Never mind.
No, I definitely would have started Rodgers against Washington.
That's what he says.
Screw you, Austin.
I did like 35 from Burrow. I never would have expected that versus the Ravens.
Yeah,
and last year was awful. So,
I was going to say Riley spent, I think it was $40 on Dearness Johnson, and it was It was almost worth it, Riley.
I can't believe that. Literally caught like a 80-yard touchdown the first drive or second drive of the game, and then couldn't get you another 3 points the rest of the game, or 4 points, whatever it was. That's so tough.
And Swift did the same thing. Did he have like a 65-yard catch, like the first drive touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
Isn't I was Swift is a top 5 running back right now, right? Season.
I have it on the slide. He's running back 2.
Yeah, he's fucking
Give
crazy.
yourselves here.
Jeez, I have him in redraft, and it feels like he's always underperforming. But it's just because he gets like garbage time points. He like starts out with like 5 for like 3 quarters, and then just ends up like 22.
This
Jalen
dude in
Hurts running backs.
this dude in garbage
Exactly.
time points.
He's got that
and he
Jalen
brings
Hurts
it
in him,
every
you
week.
know.
Exactly.
wide receivers: Cup, Chase, Evans, AJ Brown, which is I'm sure Evans happy to see because I think that's back-to-back like decent weeks. Obviously, this week was really good.
Hey Bradley, how do you feel about Derrick Henry laying a fat egg?
Yeah, that's his fat egg. 19 points. I'll take that.
That's like good. That's like I'm happy if any of my running backs give me 19 points. That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
disparity.
Derrick Henry, that's just like a down week.
I think that might have been his worst week, or maybe it was. The
Week 1 was bad.
Yeah, thought so.
18.
18. Jeez.
Tight ends: Pitts, Uzama. Just Siki's been really good.
I know,
Moreau.
dude.
I think he's a top
And then
5
we
tight end now. I think
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's number 3.
Foster
Yeah.
just got dropped today, didn't he?
Yeah, he's number 3.
Who
Yeah.
dropped or got dropped?
Did Foster
Yeah,
get dropped today?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
He has a career best performance, and you drop him.
yeah, but they're on the bye this week, and I'm expecting Waller to be back the following week. I was gonna pick up Uzama, but they played at they played an early game, and the Raiders were a late game, and I wasn't sure at that point if Waller was gonna play. And then I seen him score 2 touchdowns. I was pissed, but then Moreau made up for it. So,
Bro, that the late window of games, the mix up for like any player going from in to out, like if you're not ready for it, it really is.
Oh, yeah.
You feel so useless. You're like, all right, like that's unfortunate.
And then Tunyon. It's kind of funny because some of us were giving Chris crap for starting Tunyon, and then obviously start Goddard now, and Tunyon has a good week.
I think he's likely to have a good week going into next week too, with Adams being out on Thursday.
And Lazard's on the COVID list.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's tough.
Those 18.
All right, first matchup: Tom versus Evan. Wasn't that close?
I've gotten 160 plus dropped on my skull the last 3 weeks, I think. It's been rough.
you played DJ Dallas?
Yeah, they said he was gonna. Well, at least the report I read said he was gonna play.
But they didn't think Collins was going to play.
And then come Monday night, it's like, oh, Colin's active. I'm like, well, I had nothing else.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean it didn't matter anyway.
Pete Carroll strikes again.
Yeah.
Pitts. Oh, Evan, you've got to be happy about Pitts.
Dude, he's gonna be so good. I was talking to Collin. I'm a little worried that they take away his tight end designation at some point in his career. If he needs to be.
Yeah, I agree with
That's-
Evan.
You cut out.
That isn't like. Would they only like as long as the team designates him as a tight end in like the depth chart? I think he's fine, but maybe the team does change it down the line.
I mean, yeah, because not that I watch Falcons games, I don't know how much he lines up outside, but like I'm sure like they probably use him similar to like Waller, I would guess.
I think it's about a third, as a tight end, a third in the slot, and a third outside so far.
Oh dang. So 2/3 not tight end really.
The only way that they would change his designation, I think, Colin's right? The team would have to change him to wide receiver, and
Yeah.
I would guess the only way that would happen is that I would assume tight ends get paid less than wide receivers.
That's what I meant. Like if he wants to be that a wide receiver for salary purposes, like franchise tag, for example.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that right now. But maybe 4 or 5 years down the road.
Adam's on the COVID list. Yeah, that's a bummer for Tom. Who does Tom play this week? I know the matchups are at the end, but does anyone?
God. He plays me, and he has Lamar on a bye, so that's good for me.
Really need Ehi to catch an L at some point.
This would be a clutch dub if I could get it.
The only running Damian Harris looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I have absolutely no desire to be in the New England backfield at all. And I guess good for Tom. He's got Damian Harris seems to be the number one guy, but I don't know, man.
I feel that way. Riley, Harris does look good. I mean, I think I'm like somewhat confident in Harris for this year. As far as like in regards to what you're talking about the New England backfield. Except he did that on 25. He got 25 points on like 14 carries, which is both encouraging and discouraging because like they're still not really giving him the ball that much. But then he's still able to put up 25. So maybe they give it to him more, or maybe they don't give it to him and he doesn't have these performances. But we'll see.
Do they use him as a receiver at all, like pass catching?
Not that I know.
That's unfortunate.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's pretty dependent on touchdowns, honestly.
Yeah. He's like efficient, but yeah, Colin's right. Due to lack of carries, he needs some touchdowns.
This is a good game. Waddle looks really nice. I mean, he's getting a lot of targets. And they're not like deep targets like you'd expect from a speed guy. They're like short out routes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was surprised to see he was wide receiver 21 this year.
He's kind of the last guy standing in Miami right now, right? So that probably plays a role in it.
Is Devontae Parker doing something? I don't know.
He's been out.
He's been in and out of the lineup.
He's hurt right now, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, he's been in and out of the lineup. Really just been him and Gesicki. They've just been gobbling up everything.
It's like Robbie Anderson last year in Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, just force-fed targets because it's the only option. And Drake, this was 2 weeks in a row. He had 16. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Kenyon Drake. Is he still stuck on Tom's roster too?
I guess so. Like the Lakers backfield, that's one I'm just not that interested in.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Anything else in this matchup? Anyone got?
The performance of the week.
Victory of what, 0.24? That's insane. It's insane to like think about all the little things that could have been
literally like one first down, like some person getting or not getting a first down. See this matchup.
Yeah, Tim Patrick missed a touchdown target. Metcalf had like 4 passes broken up at the end of the game.
Well, Tim Patrick didn't get that touchdown, and then Javonte Williams got the touchdown the next play.
Yeah, correct. It was it wasn't really that fun, to be honest.
That was incredible.
You had to be so excited how the game started, though, Riley. What was that? Like the second offensive play for Seattle, Metcalf had like an 84-yard touchdown, and you were down like 3 points for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I was telling Collin before everyone else joined the call that when that happened, I was obviously very excited, but I was also I was like, oh, sweet. Now I've got like a 50-50 shot of winning versus
no way. No 50-50.
Seriously.
You shot at
50-50.
95%.
No, but like in my mind, I was like, oh, well, like I know how this.
You're gonna get screwed.
I've seen this story play out so many times where it's like, oh, well, like Metcalf got his like big play, so let's pass the ball around. But like that didn't happen. Just that Geno Smith and Pete Carroll might be the worst offensive duo to grace the NFL.
I just love Riley's disdain for Pete Carroll.
Dude, he just dude, the only highlight of that game after it all went to shit was that that roughing the passer penalty, and they cut to Pete Carroll. He takes the gum out of his mouth with his hand and just throws it at the wall. It was so incredible. Oh my gosh.
What are your thoughts on this victory, Collin?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I'm not like Riley had a lot of injuries and stuff. I had Jefferson and Eckler out, so I was a bit worried. And then Ernest Johnson, when he picked him up, I'm not surprised he had the game he did.
Yeah.
And this was his first like off week. I think his first week under 15 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just a rough game versus the Lions.
Riley, how do you feel about Allen Robinson? I know we've been talking about him some, but another dud performance. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Collin.
Allen Robinson's a full bench for me for the rest of the season. He is on his he's not on the trade block because it's kind of like an Ayuk situation where he's got the talent. He's just in like a really bad situation. Thankfully, if I'm not mistaken, this is his like tagged year, so he'll leave Chicago if he's smart, and then some team will pick him up and he'll hopefully be better. So I think long term the outlook's not like that bleak, but yeah, I mean I just have to bench him until until he moves teams. But yeah, I just wanted to say that Collin and I put up some pretty big points for us. Like I was on like crazy bye week situation, and Collin had two of his best players out on bye, and we still put up pretty good points. So it was a fun match.
Our guys really didn't do that bad. Henderson was the only like kind of dud for me. Ridley only put up 11, but that's not like awful. Just no guys really blew up, I guess.
Collin, I wanted to ask you, I put it on there, if you're concerned at all, like not like long term, but this year using Javonte Williams, because I know you've been starting.
Yeah, I was just going to speak to that. Yeah, he only had 4 carries. That's
that's it? Damn.
Yeah, it is, and he had
like 9 targets.
or 7 targets, so that makes up a little bit for it. What? Sorry, you cut out. Well, I was going to say, I am a little disappointed that him and Gordon are like switching series every single time. I feel like Javonte's looked really good, but I guess Gordon has to, so kind of holding out for an injury. I hate to say that, but I don't know. I mean, this year he's a bench guy unless I have an injury or a bye week. But I definitely
going into this year. That 50-50 split.
Yeah, I thought he would take more as the season went on, but I guess we're only week 7.
His carries have been going down, which is weird.
That's interesting.
Like the snap count has it? I mean, the snap count's been pretty consistent, right?
Pretty consistent around 50, but just fine.
Yeah.
I think expectations. I mean, I know pre-season people were expecting this situation, but then for it to be trending towards Javonte towards like the latter half of the year, and I think you would start to see that now, like through the past couple of weeks, but you really haven't in terms of snap count, carries, that kind of thing.
I think Gordon might. I mean, I've watched some Broncos games. Gordon he looks really good too. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to take him out because he's running pretty well. Yeah, he's averaging 4.5 a carry. I think Javonte's maybe 4.7 or something, but they both look good. Ertz 16.5. Did you solve your tight end problem, Riley?
Hopefully. It feels, I don't know. It feels like I'm not confident in Ertz every week. You know what I mean? Like you don't start him and go like, oh, I'm gonna like have good production. But I think it's a better situation in Arizona than it would have been in Philly, because Philly's offense is very bad and Arizona's offense is very good. So I think
he's not the show got it too.
I think Ertz will get more opportunities. He should put. I would expect him to be hovering around top 12 every week, which is good.
No, I was gonna say you couldn't ask for much more than that as far as like the situation he went to. That's like pretty ideal for him. I think he's gonna be I think he should be at least solid, going forward.
Yeah, the interesting question is when Logan Thomas comes back. If I then I have to like start sit one of the two of them, and I think it's Logan Thomas for now because people are what's his name? Ricky Seals-Jones has been doing pretty well. So
the real conundrum you're gonna have is when you trade me for Rob Gronkowski, and you have to decide between the three of them.
Yeah, I'm not trading for Rob Gronkowski. No shot.
I was actually looking at the tight end scoring today, and basically every single tight end has kind of underperformed to where they were drafted. Even Kelsey to an extent. Like Kelsey's probably underperformed the least, but of anybody up top. But like Waller's definitely underperformed since week 1. Kittle's been horrible. Like even Andrews has got hot recently, but he hasn't been ideal. I mean, he's probably been the best value for where they were drafted. And then Hawkinson's just also not been great. Pitts has finally started to heat up a little bit.
Hawkinson and Fant were 7th rounders. I'm happy with both of them.
I always forget that you got Hawkinson in the 7th round. That's disgusting.
Right, but I mean, just like coming into the year,
where they were drafted,
top 6, top 7 tight ends.
Yeah,
they're just not really. Nobody's really consistently putting a lot of value in, even with it being full PPR.
I kind of disagree.
Let's hear it. Let's hear why you disagree.
Well, I mean, you said based on where they were drafted. Like, I've been perfectly happy with.
Okay, for any relevant team in the league, their tight end is not doing anything.
Oh, I mean, but Hawkinson or Fant could plug into any team and they'd be fine there, and you'd be happy getting them the 7th. And I think if you drafted Pitts in the 3rd, like Evan did, you're happy with that pick as well.
Yeah, but I understand what
I think you're happy with Kelsey too, to be honest. Like, Kelsey's obviously performing.
Austin's not saying you didn't get good value with Hawkins, Fant, but I think even still, you still expected him, especially with Hawkinson recently, you still expect a little bit better performance. Not that you didn't get good value where you got him.
That's what he said based on draft.
Yeah, but I think
tight end. It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I know he's the 4 tight end, but if you look at his points relative to other positions, it's not great. That's my point.
Yeah, I see what Austin's saying. I agree. I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. Anything else with this matchup? We're on this for a while.
I just wanted to call out that last bullet point one more time.
Just DK. Enough said.
Just upset Riley one more time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, we'll move on here. All right, Bradley versus Siggy. God, Bradley 6-1.
Wasn't a ton to talk about here.
I talked about Mike Davis.
Cool.
Oh,
what's it, Collin?
Sorry. No, I cut Reid off. I think.
I said Pittman's touchdown was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. But I do want to talk about Mike Davis with Bradley here. How you feeling? I'll shut up. But.
I'll never start him again. I'm just happy to know that I could have a running back like doesn't even play and still win. So take that.
Oh damn! Talk your shit, Bradley.
Yeah, Mike Davis stinks, and he's the ultimate landmine running back trade. That it was crazy. I mean, that guy stinks.
Yeah.
Pulled everyone last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think anyone saw Patterson like being what he is, because I mean he's been so like efficient, so he's taking the carries. But I definitely expected more from Davis. But Jasicki's made up for.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gesicki pisses me off for Bradley because like obviously Bradley's like chief competition among the contenders, and like at least for me particularly, you compare our rosters and like where I'm supposed to have the advantage as quarterback and tight end is tight end keeps putting up like 20 points each week, and I drafted a guy like second round. He's like, I mean, not bad relative to average person, but where I drafted him, I'm expecting Gesicki production. But
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he can keep it up, but I'm a little worried with Parker coming back, and I think there's somebody else that was injured. So, like
Fuller.
Olsen said,
Will
who?
Fuller.
Oh yeah, yep. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping he can keep it up a little bit, but we'll see. But I also just want to say for this matchup, I dedicate this win to Evan because without our Christian Kirk trade, I would have started Hardman, and our matchup, if I would have started Hardman, would have came down to like Collin and Riley's matchup. So, and I didn't want to do the trade, and Evan talked me into it, so I give it all to him.
I didn't really try to convince you. I just said, "Hey, I see you're starting Mecole Hardman this week."
He's Mecole Hardman.
Felt like kind of a ricochet shot.
I wasn't gonna do it, but he made me think about it some more. So
no problem. Hey, you can't. There's no price on a win.
With Aggie's team, I know he's not here, but I think Sutton and
Siggy? Did you say
that
name?
Yeah, right. Siggy's team, Sutton and Pittman have been. I mean, you look at his wide receivers like week one, you've been like, wow, it's pretty bad, and now it doesn't look awful. Got some solid guys.
Yeah, they've been performing well. I don't know if they'll keep it up.
Siggy has like the weirdest team that's performing. I think he's got like a bunch of, aside from like DJ Moore, who I think DJ Moore is like the very last of like a really good like wide receiver one. You know what I mean? And then everyone else is like these weird players, and he's performing, so can't hate it, but I do.
Do you guys know how long? Do you guys know how long Sanders is going to be out?
He said week to week.
Yeah, that's it.
He could be back next week. He could be out a couple. Who knows?
I would guess he's probably going to miss a game.
Collin, you were about to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say, me and Siggy got in a big like debate about Sutton's targets when Judy gets back. So we'll see. I think he's gonna be back this week, Evan, right?
Yes, he is confirmed starting this week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Evan, are you gonna start him?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay.
I mean,
if you had him in redraft, do you start him this week?
Depends on who you have.
Yeah, I got nothing else, dude. My whole team's hurt in redraft. So it's bad. Or on bye.
In a situation where you don't have to start him, I don't think you do, just because the Broncos' offense has been mediocre. Oh, Evan keeps cutting out for me. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, I know. It's garbage.
It's garbage.
He's hogging all that Wi-Fi to play Minecraft.
You don't live with Siggy anymore?
Close enough.
We actually share the same Wi-Fi and Collin.
Wait, you guys do? I thought you guys lived like different like buildings. I know the same complex, but
yeah, it's really good.
Is it really good? It's not proving itself.
It is, unless I'm trying to get on Cisco WebEx. This doesn't work for me.
So you guys don't pay for like? This is irrelevant to the conversation. Never mind.
Yeah, fantasy football talk. Anyone?
Yeah. Carter, 3 good games in a row.
Relative to his performance, but I was surprised to see he was putting up double digits the past few weeks.
Yeah, what helped him this week was he had 8 receptions, so that's a little misleading, but yeah, I'm happy with it. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, that helps when you're down 50. That's always a big thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the Phillip Rivers style. Just dump the ball off to the running back.
And then Gainwell without Sanders. I think Gainwell could be a pretty good play if Sanders is out. I know they don't run the ball that much anyways, but Gainwell does receptions.
I know Reid's hurting having to trade him early in the year.
Yeah, don't love that I traded both Gainwell and Herbert in the offseason.
Is that who I got Herbert from? I don't even remember.
Yeah, you got it in the Diggs deal.
that worked out.
Yeah.
Herbert, yeah, he got the bulk of the care, even with Williams active last week too.
That was just
I'm
such
starting in a redraft.
Any more with this matchup?
No, sir.
All right, Austin and Chris. Wow, this one was actually close. I don't know what happened.
Fast.
Yeah, if Chris starts half the right people, he wins pretty easily.
I'll let you. I mean, you can speak to this one, Austin, since it's your game.
Oh, so my team was so bad this week. Luckily, I have Jamar Chase, so he was a hard carry. I think every other person on my team went under their projection, outside of him. No, my kicker didn't. Nick Folk came through
For the week.
Right. Yeah, it's not looking great, but we're still pushing through. I did the trade. I really wanted to make sure I got that trade actually through to get Tannehill this week so I can play him against Kansas City. I did not expect them to just blow Kansas City out. I thought they would be playing pretty high scoring game, but Kansas City didn't just show up. So it actually ended up hurting me. I think Tannehill would have had a good day had Kansas City showed up. I mean, he had 24 about at halftime almost. I mean, he just really killed the ball the whole second half. That ended up hurting me pretty bad. Yeah, I can't start Lockett anymore. I was really hoping that this could be an explosion game because he's due for a big game. So I decided to play him because it was either him or Tyler Boyd basically, and I didn't really trust either one, so I went with the higher upside. That did not work out. So luckily I don't have to start either one next week.
Well, you got to explain the thought process to me on why you thought that Lockett with Geno Smith has higher upside than Boyd. And like neither performed, but that's a weird decision to me.
These do.
Mostly just because I thought Geno could throw for 250, and it's just if Lockett hits the long touchdown instead of DK is basically what it came down to. I felt like if teams were smart, Lattimore's on DK, so he really should have theoretically cover him up. He really liked to show up in those matchups. That's kind of why I ended up going with Lockett, with Boyd not really getting very many targets for Cincinnati. I think that was his most targets he's seen when all of the receivers are in the lineup with Higgins and Chase there.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, you got Pete Carroll too, but it didn't hurt you.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, luckily I was already had one by the time Lockett had played, because if not, I definitely would have lost.
Well, I think it's just Sanders. Like, he had, 5 carries that first drive? So if he didn't get hurt, I'd be curious if...
Chris actually had both of his running backs get hurt. Because he also had Josh Jacobs get hurt in the middle of that game. And was out there.
Oh, Jacobs got hurt?
Yeah, he did. It's actually the first bullet point there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But yeah, the Chiefs running back, I can't remember his name, is on IR. Yeah, Chiefs, and then Sanders and Jacobs didn't return to the game, so pretty much all of his running backs are out.
I do like the Eagles offense situation where, like, a couple weeks in a row, fans are like, "Oh, you guys got to run the ball more." Like, come on, guys! They run the ball more. Their running back gets hurt. That is,
yeah. He had like 5.
I think he was pretty well when he was getting
drives.
Opportunity. Is Evan breaking out for everyone else?
Yeah, Evan's Wi-Fi is really, really good right now.
It's bro, it's 300
megabits down. Yeah.
Keep in mind that Chris could also have Jonathan Taylor instead of CEH too.
Bro, don't bring that up. I'm gonna
That's
like,
so bad.
I'm gonna like punch my wall.
Oh my god, it's funny because like Chris' team, like he's actually trying and he refuses to like trade his older guys and stuff. But like based on his performances, you would think he's like just tanking this year.
Yeah, he could get good stuff for the older guys that he had. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if he was on this week, if he would finally like concede to your wishes of like trading older guys, especially Thielen.
I offered him a second round pick for Thielen last week when I had one, and he didn't seem interested.
That's a hard trade to pull the trigger on.
Yeah, that's fair, but like with Chris's team with his record right now, and Thielen's like 31 or 32, right? I mean, I could see it.
29.
Thielen?
No, he's 31.
Yeah, Thielen's 31. Whose second one wasn't yours, Austin? Whose was it?
It would have been Riley's.
I think it was Bradley's.
What year?
This year, 2022.
You're right.
That's a bad draft pick too, though.
Yeah, I'd probably side with Chris then in declining.
That's a third round.
Yeah,
that's a third
true,
round
Bradley's.
pick, basically.
What are you talking about? That's going to be the first pick out of the playoff.
See about that.
Evan has Austin T situation on here, so we can talk about that. Or how much did it take? I didn't even look.
Oh, Austin, I just wanted to ask how you felt about your tight ends.
I mean, I feel great. I mean, Higbee gets 9 points every single week. So
yeah.
he's not ideal, but I'm perfectly fine with how he's doing. I mean, that was the most targets he's had in a game all year, with 8, and he still had 10 points without a touchdown. So, I mean, I'm going to keep riding it. I think he's perfectly fine with it. That's definitely my weakest spot on my whole roster. So, I think he's perfectly fine to start every week.
Oh, yeah. Dude, if he gets hurt, you're screwed.
That's true. If he gets hurt, I might have to go buying.
Gronkowski.
Awesome. What? You said you're going to bench Tyler Lockett. I'm looking at your bench. Who do you replace him with?
So I have Jones, Zeke, Hubbard, and then I have Tyreek, Hopkins, and Chase in my lineup.
That doesn't answer his question.
I'm confused.
That's a 6 spots.
Who's the name that replaces Lockett?
So I guess that would be because Zeke was on a bye last week. So
okay. I see.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
he's fine. One more injury though, and you're in some trouble.
Right. Yeah. Please send Ruff back quickly. We need him.
That's why I was wishing it was Zeke got hurt instead of McCaffrey. Then you would have been someone's. I mean, you still got 2 good running backs, but.
And then I would have gotten a first round pick for Pollard.
Ever.
But you do have medical professional Cole Beasley on the bench, so.
Ooh, Embiid down in the Sixers game right now, Evan.
I know.
Probably not that serious. Down 19.
Who Sixers are?
Yeah, thanks for betting on it, Collin.
Collin's bet doesn't look too good.
No,
Collin bet on them?
Chris bet for me. He put in $5. I said Sixers +2, so I'm not doing that again.
He's so good at betting. Can we take a minute and just say that? He's so good at betting. And I don't know maybe if it's just complete volume of bets, but he's always winning something.
Do you bet a lot, Bradley?
Yeah, I do. I'm not as good. I shouldn't say good. I'm just not as lucky as he is. Yeah. But I have my fair share of wins.
After that stunt he pulled a couple times last year, whenever he sends a screenshot of a bet, I just don't believe it. So, I just never believe it. Just some random thing will happen in a game, and Chris will send a screenshot of like, "Oh yeah, I bet that." It's like, what?
You're not wrong about that. He has a big liar too, but yeah, most of his wins have been legit. So,
I think it was 2 weeks ago when the Bills were playing on Thursday night. I forget who they were playing. But he sent me a screenshot. He had Dawson Knox to be the first touchdown scorer, and it was like 20-1 odds or greater. And he actually did an end around and scored the touchdown, and then they called it back for a penalty.
I remember that.
He lost like a couple $100 because of that flag.
Yep, I remember that.
Is he Evan or Bradley? Is he like overall lifetime? You think he's like in the hole, or you think he's positive? Way in the hole. Because Evan, I remember one time you telling me he like has betted like a dumb amount throughout his lifetime.
Isn't that the secret that all sports bettors don't want you to know? Is that
only post when they win?
Literally everyone's in the hole at all times.
Yeah. And that concludes the betting segment of the Dynasty chat. Now back to Collin.
We can have that. We can have a slide in here for that. That's not halftime. The next matchup, Ahi versus Reid. I'll just let you guys talk about it, I guess.
I really should have started Justin Fields.
All right.
Collin got all butthurt that people were talking about his quarterbacks, and he calls out Reid.
I mean, Fields did end up scoring like a half point more than Zach Wilson, but he was like -4 with 5 turnovers during most of that game.
Okay, we can move back.
Pretty much hit on it. Mahomes, 9 points, 138 with most of my lineup hurt. I was going to say, because obviously Reid and I started out slow, but then I was texting Reid in Austin by the end of the night, and I was like, I would have had the second most points this week if like Michael Pittman didn't catch that late touchdown. But so I was happy with that, but obviously I need my guys to get healthy. So
I was really surprised to see your lineup, Ehi. Like I didn't really pay attention too much during while the games were on. I looked at it this tonight, and like you started like all of your backups. Like all your starters are out besides like Evans and Debo, pretty much.
Yeah.
He picked a good week to face me.
Yeah, exactly.
The dichotomy between all of my players being on bye week and I have to play against a contender, and then Ehi, all of his guys are hurt and he plays against Reid. No offense.
Riley, you're going down in 2 weeks. I hope you know. Week 9, when you got like DK and Swift on bye, your injuries are still piling up. You're gonna have another one next week. I'm getting in 2 weeks.
If I lose to Reid, it's a
Yeah, Reid, let's get it.
I don't want to say fire sale, but I might just quit fantasy football.
No, listen. That's my Super Bowl in like 2 weeks. I'm telling you, I'm gunning for you, Riley.
The one matchup Reid wants to win.
Bro, I don't know what I did.
You sold me your.
You gave him your pick.
Isn't that what he wanted? I'm so confused.
Well, yeah, but I want you to do bad.
Oh, I understand. I'm stupid. Yeah, you're right.
As of right now, looking ahead to week 9, I know Riley's lineup isn't set, but Reid's projected to win that matchup.
And Reid's going to trade all his picks for better players.
Season. Facts.
I'll turn into a buyer for 1 week.
1 week rental. But on another note, Julio is pissing me off, so I'm kind of sketched out about him. So I'm probably, knowing me, because I'm stubborn, I'm just going to keep playing him until he pops off, probably, but we'll see.
You're going to play him until he retires.
You have no other choice. Nobody else wants him.
No one's gonna buy Julio.
No, I mean, like shit. Sterling Shepard is better, and well, actually, with Fournette coming on this year, I could play him instead of, assuming my lineup's healthy, which hasn't been all year.
Speaking of Fournette, I was looking at this trade that just in retrospect it looks so bad. I
was just looking at the exact same thing.
I gave you Fournette for Sony Michel and Evans 2022 second.
Yeah.
Oh. Which I think at the time makes decent sense.
At the time it was fine,
but because it was a still confusing backfield.
It was Nyheim Hines. I think I gave Collin Sony Michel.
Oh yeah, it was a 3-person trade.
Yeah. I actually got that wrong. I thought you were talking about another trade, Riley. I thought you were talking about Ehi's trade to get Julio with Tom. It looks like
Damian Harrison, who commit. I don't know.
Fuller and Josh Kelly, it looks like, and you got back Julio, Jacoby Myers, and a 2023 third.
What an insane trade for Ehi. That's crazy.
I gave him commit too.
It's not bad, I guess, if Julio would have produced, but the way Harris has kind of come on.
Harris is that trade. Never mind. Bad trade.
I mean, Jacoby's
What's up, Reid?
Jacoby isn't a bad player to have.
Oh, no, but I traded him to Evan in a different deal, in another 14 deal.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you got for Jacoby, but...
Yeah, it was part of that. Were you in that deal, Colin? I can't remember. It was part of like a 14 deal where I got Saquon, I gave him Najee, Siggy. I don't know. Siggy got like 4 like mediocre running backs, and then like I don't remember what Evan got.
Are you wishing you still had Najee instead of Saquon?
I mean, at this point with Saquon's injury, it's hard not to, but I still have faith. But then again, I'm an optimistic person to a fault at times. So, but no, seriously, I still like Saquon. I mean, he's only like a year older, even though he's been in the league a couple years longer, and obviously he's just a freak talent, and so is Najee. But I think once Saquon gets healthy, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that's a big if, though.
One more note on that Jacoby Myers deal. I just put up the trade that I made to get him, and it might be the fleece of the Jonathan Taylor trade, probably worse, but
no,
it's pretty close. I gave up Devontae Parker, Singletary, Zach Moss, a 2023 second and a 2023 third, and got Jacoby Myers, Pollard, and a first-round pick.
That's very nice.
That's back when people were just flinging draft picks around.
Back when they were in circulation. One before we move on from my matchup, I'm surprised you didn't put anything about Elijah Mitchell because, I mean...
Oh, I meant to. You know what? I meant to. I thought he had a really good game.
Yeah, he had over 100 yards again and continues to dominate the snap counts. He doesn't play third downs, but that's Hasty's job, but gets all the first and second down carries, and they feed him a decent amount. He looks pretty decent, especially for a rookie.
Hey, Reid, why don't you just put an ad in the paper? Say you're
just throwing it out there.
No, that was a good call out. I did mean to put that on there. He's like a perfect fit for that offense.
We have all these low lights, and I could have thrown a bone to my only highlight.
That's true.
It wasn't notable, It wasn't notable. And then I seriously didn't mean to put in the game notes, and I forgot. So
fine.
This is why we don't have to even go by this. So this is why we like to talk.
No, this is good. It keeps us like focused on certain things.
Yeah,
we've been really focused so far.
Good amount of
Reid,
focus.
I was going to ask you about your rookie quarterbacks. It looks like you got 4 of the 5, and you might have got the 4 wrong ones. I didn't know if you were thinking about really completing the set and going and getting the best one.
No,
we're going to be 4 of the 5. 4 wrong. Oh, that's funny.
Didn't get Mac Jones, but it'll be okay. At least one of them will be a solid QB1, and the good part is I'm not in a hurry to find out which one. They got all season to figure that out.
It's teal or bust, bro.
They can work it out among themselves.
I mean, at this point, they're committed to the process of the tank, and I commend them for that. So I'm happy with
them. Isn't
it? They understood the assignment.
Yeah, the player that I like the most out of your quarterbacks is Trey Lance, just because we haven't seen him we haven't seen enough of him to determine if he's bad like the other ones.
T-Law's been bringing it on lately. He had a rough week 2 and 3, but other than that, he's been solid.
I don't know. I think Lawrence has been.
Yeah, I think he's been good. Like, obviously, fantasy-wise, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but just I don't think anyone expects a rookie quarterback to be good fantasy-wise, but I think he's just in general, he's shown some things. Go ahead, Collin.
In 2 years' time, Reid is going to be the Bradley, or he's going to have to pick between the bad quarterback who puts up fantasy numbers and the good pocket passer quarterback. Between
Justin Fields going to be the bad one.
Yeah, 2 years' time, Justin Fields is going to be out of the league.
I did want to call out, too, before we leave this matchup, that if you look under Cam Akers' name for Reid, it doesn't. They say that he's not ruling out a playoff return for him, says McVay. Thought.
No
way.
Highly doubt it.
I mean, you guys were giving me crap about giving up that first rounder for him last week, but
that's just because you were shit talking him early in the year when I had him.
Well, I was deflating his value, just waiting for my time to pounce.
And Austin caved like a sucker.
I just didn't know what it was like to have a first round pick, so I just had to get a little bit of taste.
Fair enough.
Do you still have that first round pick, or did you get rid of it immediately?
Oh, I tried, but nobody would buy it. They said it was just worthless to have a pick 3 years from now. That's what they keep telling me.
unless they own it.
I'll take it.
Hey, hold up. Do people still think in this group that 2024 picks are still worth more than 2022 picks, or has that changed?
It was 2023 over 2022, I think.
No. At one point, there was people here that thought 2024 picks were better.
Is this the infamous? Was this the infamous thing where I received a message telling me how I value draft picks, and it was corroborated by like 4 people, and I was like, I've never said that before in my life. Is that what you're talking about?
At one point, someone quoted that they valued the 2024 picks higher than the 2022.
No, I've said that. I think it depends who you need. If you need wide receivers, then this 2022 draft is great. If you don't need wide receivers, don't want wide receivers,
Reid needs everything.
On draft, and I'd rather have 2023 or 2024. But the receivers are good, so I mean, if you need those or want those, then I think it's a good draft. Anything else on this matchup?
I still can't decide if Devontae Smith is good or not. He goes back and forth every week. You trust him, and then you plug him in, and he sucks. Then you take him out, and he does good. And it's every other week, I feel like, with him.
Reid, thoughts?
He's just a rookie wide receiver, right?
The
exception being like the last 2 years, you've seen Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. So like that really skews your expectations for what rookie wide receivers should be capable of. I think he's been doing
okay. Baby.
When Deshaun Watson goes there, Hall of Fame.
Okay. This guy.
All right, so the slide we've all been waiting for. Oh, no space between 8 and the P in power.
Oh my God.
Power rankings. I feel like this week's a little more obvious than most, maybe.
It didn't change at all.
Oh,
okay. Did it?
Well,
no. Anything.
Nice.
I want to.
Is that a good thing? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess I
want to say in reflection, I feel like the 7th ranking is fair. I haven't earned better than that, so I apologize to Evan for making a stink of it last week.
Oh, that's so
really.
But I will say, if I win, I expect to be like 3rd. So just putting that out
there. Shoot, I was gonna say, right? Well, obviously, I usually root for people in my division to lose, but since I'm assuming Siggy's gonna beat Reid, regardless, I'm actually rooting for all you guys to win, to lower Bradley and Austin either below me or tied with me. So go Riley, go Evan, and those are you guys' only ones in my division on this chat. So I hope you guys win next week, assuming Siggy loses.
Yeah, me too.
Or yeah, Siggy wins, I should say.
I hope Siggy loses, but that's not going to happen. So I hope I win.
We can look at them. We're kind of talking about that stuff. Yeah, the big ones. Well, I guess Riley and Austin's a big one. Yeah, Tom and Eddie. Those are probably the 2.
I don't know if I said this last week, but I would really like to stop being the matchup of the week. I would like to play against someone who I can just blow the barn doors off. It's been like 5 weeks since I played a bad person.
Oh, again, you're gonna take that back.
I know, dude. I know. Week 9, I'm gonna. Oh, it's not the match of the week, and Reid's gonna put up 160.
No,
Riley, you just put up 105. Best sentence for your week. You're gonna score the least now because you said that.
Riley, I think this is a big week for you. Because if you do lose, you'll be 3 out from Eddie, assuming that he doesn't. Well, it depends on when he does too, but you're 2 down right now. So if you do lose, you would be 3 down potentially. But you do if you are able to win, you do have Reid, Evan, and Siggy the next 3 weeks. That definitely lightens up the schedule a little bit for you.
Yeah, we're trying to coincide the back half of the year. I'm hoping is better. guys. Hopefully, Dave Montgomery comes back off IR, but I'm not anticipating that. So he's probably like week 10. Then they've got the bye, so I get him the last like 4 games or something.
Dude, Commissioner Espinosa, I want to file a complaint / go to arbitration because I only faced Lucky 7 Dynasty only one time this year, despite the close proximity between our teams. So I'm kind of pissed about that. I want my second free win.
Well, how many times you play me? It's another free win.
Now I'm just messing around. Michael,
I actually was taking a look at the schedules, and I think they were actually very fair. Like looking at how the standings are kind of stacking up, like everybody plays about the same type of people the same amount of times, which is always a good thing. I mean, the points aren't always going to add up, but
is there a way that you can see like the actual like week by week schedule in like a decent way?
Week by week schedule,
like to show like to show you like who you play each week. I don't know how to do that.
Right, here's how you have to do it. You actually have to go to the league page and click on your own name. Like, don't go under team. Go under the league tab and then click on your own name and then click schedule.
I see. Got you. Thank you.
I didn't know that was there.
Dude, this app kind of bum. Like there's some weird...
Oh shit, there is a schedule button. No, I know what you mean. That is kind of sick, Austin. Of course, Austin and Reid probably.
I always find a way. I will say the app is kind of quirky in some ways, but it's definitely the best fantasy app by far.
Well, it's definitely best for Dynasty. I still like ESPN, I think, but for
Dynasty,
that's
crazy. ESPN stinks.
Bro, it's like right in your face, bro. It's just get in your face. It's like gives you the news and everything. Well, Sleeper's news is sketch, bro. Sleeper has
ESPN's news
and projection. And projections be wilding.
Projections
for some reason
Matthew Berry.
It's better than reading fucking Roto Wire. That's like 2 years incorrect. And like,
he doesn't know that Roto Wire is run by Matthew Berry.
It doesn't even have basic grammar and like freaking. It has players' height and weight wrong and.
God, no wonder you're 2-5.
I'm 5-2.